yet one more time because I wanted to show you that, the running the project is, I would like to run that project. So again, let's start talking about this and let's start this project again. Again, remember you need to go into first app and then you will do npm start to run the project. And when project runs, it actually runs our development server at 3000 port. And that 3000 port basically shows us Alison, yes, class was already canceled, but it's again back. So the 3000 port shows you the the running of the project, and that is basically where our project is running. Okay, so I'll start with this way that we'll go to the notes, and I have just create a new component and call it app in app component. So we have just seen that towards the end, and we saw that we can create new components and we can call them in our app component, which is app.jsx. And what happens is that our main component will work like that. So I was talking about the JSX as well. And do you see that in the JSX we can actually call other components over here? We can call other components over here, and we can do lots of interesting things. So right now I just have one component called contact, and I have just called that one. And now what I'll do is that I would like to show you something very interesting. Let's go back and, let's go back and create another component. Components again, I will create always new component in my, so how this NPM start differ from go live? Okay, Mohammed, that's a very good question. Would anyone like to answer this one? Mohammed's question. Mohammed says that how this NPM start is different from go live. Can anyone let me know that why they are different, or what typically is the difference here? Because NPM start is running, they are virtually identical. Okay. Okay, right. Anyone else? They're virtually identical. NPM compiles, Hiba. That's a good point you wanted to make. Um, and anyone else? I need one more, then I'll just talk about this go live and NPM start. Right. So now listen that one. So go live actually runs the static HTML pages or the HTML files. When we have an HTML page, we right click that and we run that. Here, actually, it's not index HTML running simply. Here, actually, it runs that script of like, the number one thing is that this is how your React project should work. Number two is that this index.html is not a normal file over here. Rather, it's a file that is basically using. So now I'll show you something. If I open it with live server, just to, yes, yes, they will allow full reload and all those kind of things. You are very right. Let's see that. If I just run this first app, look at that. This is my first app running. Again, by using, that live server. And if I run that by using 3000 server, which is the server being run by my React. Look at that, the difference between these two. Now, this does not show anything. If I go to its code, inspect, you will know the difference. Who has asked the question, you will know the difference. So if I just go to the elements and the body, and the div ID is equal to root, you see that it says that here the component runs, there is nothing executing inside that one. Mohammed, are you getting that one? Actually, it's not rendering the page. You need to render that one. You do need to compile that one with the web compilation. So you see that it says Webpack compiled successfully. So that will only happen with when you run a script. And this script is this script is nothing out of the out of the thought. It is actually package.json. When I say npm start, Hussein, look at that. Actually, I'm running this script. Shorthand for the contact component. Yes, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. No problem. Yes, RAFC is for arrow functions, but it's not an arrow function. You can write RFCE. But anyhow, let's create another component. So I go to the components, node package manager. Yes. Now see, I create a new file and I say this header.jsx, header. Now, please everyone do with this with me, and we'll just, see that how this works. Header.jsx. Now, I told you, and I'm just repeating that. When I do RAFCE, it actually creates components in a arrow function form. Look at that arrow function. But when I do RFCE, it creates a component in a normal function form. Yes or no? Do you guys understand that one? So RFCE makes a normal function. And if I do RAFCE, it creates an arrow function, React arrow function. So practically speaking, there is no difference between them. And by the end of time, the difference between the two is still. Yeah, Brian, I'm about to tell you. Brian, actually, in general terms, there is no difference between making a function like this, making a React component like this, or making a React component like this. I'll create it over here. Why not? Look at that. In general, there is no difference. The only difference is for the time being, the only difference is the syntax here. This actually uses the arrow function syntax, and this uses it. Now, if you ask in a detail or a very depth answer, this is the more modern syntax that we use on daily basis. And also another point, ES5, ES6, like again, ES5, ES6, modern, you can call it modern JavaScript standards. Modern JavaScript loves to use arrow function not loves, it's actually, because arrow function is more convenient than the normal function syntax. Right? Do you understand that one? Generally speaking, there is no difference in functionality. There might be no difference at all. But in essence, the arrow function is most widely used by the modern day programmers. Right? Do you get a general idea of that one? And again, it's up to you. And right now, I might be going for just function components. So whatever, but have both our classes essentially merged into one. Yes, Brendan. Yes, that's right. That's right. That they have both been merged into one, and now we are just following the same content all over. Yes. So in theory, as if we are asking, it's in theory, it is newer or more correct. No, it's newer or it's a more advanced. Like the arrow one is the more advanced one, and at times, some in some of the applications, you find that arrow functions or arrow components are more important to, more easier to use than the function. In essence, there is no difference between these two. In general, there is no difference between these two. Okay. So now let's talk about this one. So I've created a new function called arrow function. Now let's do something with this one. So I come here and I put h1 and I say title of the component. Title. Let's write title. And let's say I say some explanation of the component here. I'm about to tell you something very interesting. I've created and again, I told you that this line, we no more need that. If you keep that, no worries. I just generally take away import React. We don't need to do that. Now, please do that because we are about to do something very important. Now, I want to call this function into my app component. So I'll go to my app.jsx or app.js. I come here, and for the time being, I'm just taking away everything away from here. And let's, for example, say I want to directly call this header component. And of course, I'll need to import that. And do you see that my contact has quickly gone into like DULT form because now I have components/header. Now see here. Now my application will be running, of course, and I'll show you, but not this, rather this one. So look at that. Okay, I'll have to refresh that. And it is compiling, it's still compiling. You see that? Okay, so title with some explanation. And again, since right now there is no class being defined over here, so it's actually just using that one. But let's do that maybe let's put that in a div with a class, and I would like to give it a class of app again, the same that we are using, and we'll put this header inside that one so that it comes in the center just for the purpose. And again, we can do that some other way. Everyone understands that one. This is a header component, and I can even call here the contact component, because contact is also imported on the top. I can bring the contact component as well. Look at that, contact me and header. Everyone is with me because I'm about to start something very interesting. So go to the notes. I would like to tell you here something called props, which is again the short form of properties. What are props? Props are like parameters. I should write props to the components are like parameters to the functions. Props is something which is called, as I said, props to the components, they resemble as parameters to the functions. When we call a function, when we define a function or call a function, we pass some parameters. Remember, everyone? In React, when we pass something to a function, the component, it is called as props. What does that mean? I come to my app.js. Adam, your page crashed. Maybe you have just look at the code here, and I would like to share this fragment code here. Maybe you have just missed that code. And if you feel, I can take your screen and we can just talk about that. Are you using the same code? Okay. Would you mind sharing your screen, Adam? No problems. I can have a quick look at that. Okay. Righto. So okay, looks good. Can you show me the like how it is crashing on the browser?
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm only sharing VS Code. Just give me 1 second there.
Sure.
I'll just share the whole thing. And this is what's coming up.
Wonderful. I understand what's that problem. Can you go back to your code, VS Code? Look, you have not used import header at the top. You have not imported or header, defined the header. So just go and do import header with a capital H from okay, and /components/header. No need for JSX. Wonderful. Save that. Okay. And now show your output. Okay. Element type is invalid. What is that? Check the render. There's a render method of app. Element type is an expected string, but built-in. Okay. Can you go back to your code? Just hold on. Oh, can you close this folder structure by the way for a second, because it's just for no reason it's here. Yeah, just give me a second. App div class app and class header. Div header is there. It should work fine. Can you show me your terminal by stretching it a little bit from the bottom? Yeah, can you show me the terminal? Okay. Okay, there's just few warnings. Can you go back to your running page and refresh that for a second? Refresh that. Okay, element type is invalid. Okay, can you go back to your there? It looks like I'll have to just look into your. Can you show me your contact component? Contact component. It does not look saved. You click on that. Can you hit save here? Okay, and can you go to the header component as well? And hit a save here as well. Good. Now go back to the file and run that. You see that you did not save those things, right? Right. Okay, wonderful. So I'll share my screen. Now, can I have a quick feedback from everyone? Are you guys with me? We have got a header component and we have got, we were discussing these props. Can I have a thumbs up? Everyone has the header component inside that. Can I have this one from everyone? So we have got the header component. Now see here. while calling header component, I pass a prop from here and I say title is equal to first application, or let's say, to do application, to do app. In this way, what we do is that we can pass certain properties to a component while calling. Now, while you are passing these properties, of course, you can receive these properties in that one. So to receive these properties, we need to define a keyword here that is props. That is a default keyword. We have just done that. And if you want to take out the value from this one, we know that we have sent a prop called title. So I'll say props.title. Now, how many of you understand this one? You see that to do app. So now this header component is receiving a props from here, title, and it just displays that props over here. Now, you will be convinced more with this one. If I call this header again, I can call it 1,000 times and it will asynchronously come. And title is equal to, for example, school application, something like that, school app. Do you guys understand what is happening? I'm passing a title props from here, and in header, I'm receiving that in the props and extracting it by props.title, because props is the properties coming from behind and dot title is this is the property that I passed it from here. Are you guys getting that one? I'll write down the theory of the props. Now, if I write, for example, title, after title, I write, okay, I'll tell about that one, Brian. Brian, you always go very fast. I'll come to that one, but let me just complete a bit of the basics. So text is equal to some text here. I'm passing another props. Text is equal to some text. Now see here, it means that I have, rather than writing some explanation, I can just come here and I can say props has another property. Okay, no problem. Oh, no problem. So props.text. Now look at that. Now the text is also appearing over here. And do you see that for the second time, I have not passed any text. So there is no text appearing over here. Why? Because header is looking for this text over there. Brendan, are you making sense of it? Again, if I come here and I pass another property of text here as well, text is equal to school app here. If I pass that one, look at that. Look at the output over there. School app here. Oh, not Brian, please don't mind it. I just sat out of that because I'm just Brian, if you know the concepts and I'm going from the very basics. So first of all, I'm telling props and then I'll talk about this destructuring that you're talking about, right? So yes, that would definitely come up. Okay. So can I have a thumbs up from everyone who understand the props a little bit? We call the component. I'll make it bigger. We call the component by passing certain values. And these values are received in a variable called props. And after receiving those values, we can just show these values like this. So we know that I have passed title. Sorry, I'll just close that. I have passed title and I have passed text. So I come in header and I say props.title, props.text. Now, does that make my component much more useful that I can call now this header any number of times. I can call it again and I can say title is equal to, for example, attendance app. Attendance app. And I say the text is equal to some attendance app here. Look at that. If I hit save, look at the output. I will have third time as well as, and these all props will up, these all applications or these all headers will appear. Oh, it's not coming up. I did not hit save. So now if I just show you, attendance app is also there. And do you see that? Brendan, what I showed you, that these all components are coming asynchronously. So a component is just, being called, and it is called only once you can call it. And it's just showing all those components over here. And allow me to take away contact for a second, just to show you. So these are three header components that I have I have used. So do you guys understand the concept of a little bit of component? I'll write it over props. So props are, so we pass them while calling the component and receive them in called component, right? Like this, we receive them in props and we can just extract them out. And other than that, this this component can have its own text as well. There can be certain own text as well. Make sense, everyone? Now, here comes what Brian was asking, and Brian, again, I'm sorry about that if you felt. So now Brian was asking, to take out these props, we can have multiple ways of taking out the props. First way is this, and you have used that one. The second way might be, I come here and I say, for example, let X is equal to props dot title. Let Y is equal to props dot text. Look at that. I'm just trying to tell you something very interesting. Let X is equal to props dot title. Let Y is equal to props dot text. And now instead of writing props dot title and props dot text, I can write Y. Oh, sorry. I can write X and I can write a Y here. Yes, exactly. So props would be properties within a class. Props are title and text preset terms. I tried custom words and did not work. Oh, no, these title and text are not preset terms. Nasir, you can give anything. For example, I can come here and I can say, what I can say, maybe anything, name is equal to like that. But whatever you pass in, remember, whatever you pass in, you will have to receive with the same name. Are you getting that, Nasir? Look at that. You have to fix these fields now. So now this will not be receiving as props.title. Rather, it will be received as prop.name. Nasir, did you get that? Yes, Brian is very right. Had to match the incoming fields as well when you are receiving that. Nasir, do you make sense? Whatever name you are sending it to with, and you have to receive with the same name. Did you get it? And again, it's the same functionality. It is taking the title, storing it in X and storing it in Y. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone if you understand? Oh yeah, okay. Now, do you understand, everyone? Now, I would like to tell you something really, really interesting so if you guys feel, I'll do something for you. I'll copy this one and I'll put that in the notes because you should have all the shapes of this program. I'll keep on changing that. So this was when you can extract out in the single variables. Now extracting these values can be in multiple ways. It can be like this as well. If I come here and instead of let's put it this other way. I can come here and I can say let, right? And I say, for example, let in arrow, I say title, comma text is equal to props. And now I have received the title in the title name and I should have received the text in the text name. This is, if you guys remember, destructuring. Props is not iterative. Oh, sorry. It's not, it should be curly brackets here. Yeah, look at that. Title and text. And I'm not getting the title. Why? Can anyone tell me? Do you know that why it's not showing the title over here? Because remember, I changed the title to name. Remember, everyone? So that's why it is not. So if I just change it to title. So again, you know that it was just to understanding that I can change this something, anything. Now look at that. Now the title will appear and the text will appear. This is called destructuring the props. This is second way. Kyle, are you getting that one? This is the second way. You destructure them in an object that a title and text will be coming from the props. So you don't need to write props.title, props.text. Rather, you destructure them from the props and use them. This is another shape. So I'll copy this one for you as well in the notes. This is another shape. I'll write that. So I'm just writing all those shapes because I'll be changing a little more. Rather than even doing that, there is another shortcut. If I take away this and I come here, instead of writing props, if I know the properties that are coming, I can directly write them over here. How many of you guys understood this one? Instead of destructuring them here, we can destructure them in the function area as well. Just destructure directly from there. Brendan, do you make sense of it? Directly destructure that. So that is called curly brackets over there, and you put the title and text. These title and text will be received from the back, and it will just receive them, and it will just show them over here. Nasir, I would like to have your feedback as well. Are you getting that destructuring over here? I did this destructuring first inside the program, inside the function, and then we can do this destructuring in the parentheses. So that is much more easier. And that's the same question that Brian asked. Brian, was that your same question? Brian was asking that when will you use that? This is called destructuring on the parameters. And now just after destructuring, we get this title and post, and we can just have that over here. Wonderful. I hope you guys are understanding that one. And this is, you're just wondering when each is appropriate. Yeah, Brian. So yeah, that's a very good question. So Brian, again, this situation comes here. It's not which is appropriate in which situation. It is your way, that which way you feel comfortable in and you want to work with. There are a lot of people, they feel comfortable in having this here as props and maybe destructuring them later on like we did before. So there are a lot of people that might prefer this. They will say, I'm easy with this syntax, but there is, literally there is no difference between destructuring them over here and destructuring them over here. yeah, that's much more, much more right explanation that how our company wants you to do that. Again, it's your like coding practice, what you want to do. Wonderful. Now I'll copy this one as well for you, and I'll put that in the notes. The third shape. Now here comes a very, very important concept. So it's very much likely that at times, it's very much likely that at times I would say that, I have passed something with one component, but I did not pass it with the other component. It might be my way of doing that I would say that I don't want to pass anything, later on, and I've just passed it once. For example, if I just come here and, in title, we can pass anything. In title, we can pass, even if you just want to do that. If I want to pass, like, for example, if you want to pass a number, you will have to put that in the square brackets. For example, if I say title is equal to 10, you cannot put that in the inverted commas, like it will be 10. Look at that. The 10 has become the title. Are you guys getting that one? So to put the number, you will have to use that curly brackets. Now, at times, you might want to do that. For example, to-do list. I'm just making it back. So someone said that I have passed this title and this one, but second time I do not pass the title, and third time I do not pass the text. Look at that. I'm trying to make you understand something very, very, very interesting and important. Please keep that in mind. What we are going to do. So if I just now run my program, look at that. It looks very odd. Here we have the title and text both. Here we don't have the title, but text is there. In the third call, I have the title, but I don't have the text. Is that making sense to you? So why not? Because if someone is not passing that, header is looking for these values, and if header does not find, of course, it does not have any values. So is there a way to define default props? And that is the way that I'm trying to tell you. So that is something called default props. If I want to define default props, so come here and, just write this IMPT. Do that IMPT and hit enter. It imports prop types. Make sense, everyone? And now come into your program, and after that, before our export, I'll come over here and I would say something like this: header dot default props is equal to. I hope you guys do you guys know what is going on? I would say there is a title prop that should be given a value default if not passed. And there should be a text prop that should be default text here and default title. If user does not pass any title or text, look at that. Everywhere there where user has not passed something, it has been converted to default props. Kyle, is that good? Understand? It is just converting to the default props. Is that making sense to everyone? It will be default props. So this is the one. Now, another one. If I come to the app and here in the title, instead of putting the list, again, what I was doing, if I come here, instead of putting the string, if I pass a number 30, for example. So React does not mind. React will show 30 over here, but I would like to do something very interesting in header. Come to header. After this prop types, come here and write header dot prop types. I can define the prop types as well. Prop types as well. Look at that. What are the prop types? Look at that. I would say title should be prop types with capital P and T string. Prop types string. Make sense, everyone? Title should be prop types string. Text should be prop types. Oh, it's prop types. That's why it was giving error. Dot string. Now look at that. Are you guys getting that? Default type I am defining. That prop types should be title, should be string, and text should be string. Now what will happen? Still, it does not do anything. But if I go to the inspector, look at the console. Like the console. Do you find see that? Prop type, invalid prop, title of type number supplied to header expected string. Are you guys getting that one? It is defining that what type of string should be there. What type of string should be there? What type of title should be there? Are you guys getting that one? Yes. So see that it will be just, giving a warning over here that why you are sending a number, it has to be a string. It's a warning. You guys know that? And there comes another one. If I just come here and I say is required, and with the text as well, is required. Now it will give me warning if I don't pass anything. If I don't pass anything, and I'm not passing here, I'm not passing the title, here I'm not passing the text. So it should give me a warning, but it is not giving me a warning. Anyone? Now you should be that much fluent in this one. Why it is not giving a warning? It's not giving any warning over here. It's the previous warning. If I just refresh that. Oh, it's just giving for the prop type number. If I just come here and I change that one, and I say to do app. Now see here, now it won't give any warning. Now I have done is required. Support default props will be removed from function components, function major release. Yeah, so it says that its default props are going, as I told you, that there are lots of things will be going on in some of the release and JavaScript parameters instead. But don't worry about that one. Right now, if you see that I have made that prop type is required and I'm not passing these prop types, but why I'm not getting that warning over here? Kyle, Brendan, can you guys guess why it's not, even though I've not passed the title? Because I have already defined default props, which are taking place on that one. If I just come and make it comment, look at that. Now you will see the warning. And if I hit refresh, look at that. Failed prop type. The prop title is marked as required in header, but its value is undefined in one of the call. Are you guys getting that one? There is no title over here. There is no text over here. So it might be if I just give a title over here, it will give an error for that one. So if I say, for example, school, for example, I've just given a title. Look at that. Now it will come failed prop type. Look at that. Failed prop type. The prop text is marked as required in the header and you are not providing a text over here. Adam, are you getting that one? I hope you're understanding this. When the prop types is defined and is required, it's a validation that you need to define or you need to pass certain parameters. Can I have maybe I've gone a little faster. Can I have a little thumbs up from everyone who understand that one? Nasir and everyone. Thank you, Kyle. I can see always you always giving wonderful. Nicholas, thank you. And how about Hiba? Hiba, are you with me? Understanding that one? If there is anything you want me to just repeat that, or maybe if I'm going faster, let me know. Wonderful. So now I'll just leave that with the default headers, for example, and I'll just do some more things. Now comes a very important, interesting concept. Can I define certain stylings for certain things? That's very interesting. I come here in H1. Look at that. There is a change coming up in HTML, in JSX. I can say style is equal to. Do you guys remember? We can define style in the style is equal to. Here, remember, whenever you are defining direct style, we will use double curly brackets. Double curly brackets. And I would say color red. Color red. Now see here. Style is equal to color red. Why there is a double curly bracket? One curly bracket for JavaScript expression and one curly bracket for directly defining the values. And I'll tell you the difference. Are you guys getting that one? Now, can I define some other properties? Yes, if I put comma and I say background. So, you remember that we had background color. Now listen, in JavaScript, all these will become camel case, which were snake case in CSS. How many of you understand that one? In snake, in CSS, we write background dash color. Remember everyone? But in JavaScript, while we are using JSX, in JSX, they all will become camel case. Do you see background color? And I would write, for example, I say green. Look at that. Background color is in camel casing now. Are you guys getting that one? Now hit save. So do you see that? How we have applied style? We can apply styling like this to any of the element. Again, I can apply this, maybe changing the values, and I want to apply this style to my text as well. So I say Control C, and I come to P, and again I can say color, for example, anything else, yellow, and background color as maybe red, something like that. So if I just do that, look at that. Both of them will be changed now. And do you guys see that how powerful we are becoming? How powerful we are becoming, that we have got a, and this header is being called 3 times. Who says you? I can just call it 1 time, maybe just 1 time. And this header component is here. Or you call it any number of times as you want. So now 3 components have been called here. Now, this is the way to directly apply styling over there. There is one other very interesting way. And what is that way? We can create styles separately. For example, I come to my header. And after this header, look at that. You have to be careful with how much power you give. Okay, so now what I have to do, I can define const heading style is equal to, now here I can define the style, and again, color red, background color, and for example, black. For example, I'll just define a variable heading style. Now, I can call this heading style variable in any of the places. But here now the difference will be, I won't pass with the double quotation. Rather, in the 1 quotation, I will say heading style. The heading style that, okay, just give me a second. The heading style that I've defined, I've just given that in a single curly bracket. If I just do that, hit save, and look at that. Now it has a red color with a background of black. Which one? The first one. And again, I can give this heading style to here as well. I'll take away the second curly bracket and I'll say heading style. Whatever. Look at that. Now both of them have the same color. Am I able to make you guys understand this one? This is very interesting. And we have got components, we have got props, and this props practice is very important. As Brian was asking a question, this destructuring is very important. Remember destructuring, You would really love that. And do you remember I discussed destructuring in JavaScript as well? While we were discussing arrays and objects, if you remember, we have talked about the destructuring over there as well. When we were just taking out the two values from the array and you could just give the name and they will be destructured. So even you can just leave out the word of the prop and you will just directly do that. Yeah. So React with Tailwind, you can just do that. Everyone understand that one? And okay. So one more thing that I would like to just do over here. One more thing I would like to just do over here is that one is that we are defining styles over here. One of them, if you remember that we had a style CSS file as well. Do you remember app.css? And it has a lot of things. I would like to just, maybe I would like to remove all of them instead of let's just leaving the app component. Just leave that. And maybe, it might not affect my application because I'm not using any other style. In this, I can define my own class styles as well, just like the normal CSS. So I can come here and I can say, for example, I can say H1. Whenever H1 comes, it has to have a border of 1 pixel solid green, right? And I would say, for example, border radius equal to 5 pixel and save that. And let's look at that. It has, it has just done that, but now I'll just do that width. If I say width is equal to 300 pixel, if you just do that, now you see that H1 is of 300 pixel and there is a 1 pixel border, which I cannot see right now. If I just make it 10 pixel, you can see that, I have defined an H1 class and, this app.css is connected directly to our every component. And why it is component? Heba, can you tell me that why this style is being applied to that one, this app.css? Do you guys remember this app.css is actually connected in our index.js? This, yes, app.css. Sorry, it was in our app.jsx. Sorry. Let me just go there in the app.jsx. Where is my app.jsx? Let me open that. Look at that. This app.css, it is imported over here, app.css. And that's why I can write any style. Now, here comes another concept, very important. Not only that, we have another style file. And where I'll find that? First of all, I would like to know where it is connected. If I go to index.js, no, yeah, see that. Index.css. Do you guys see that? There is an index.css also attached. Where is that index.css? It is over here. So we have got two files that are attached over here. And what I will be doing, maybe I will be mostly writing my style in index.css. So for example, if I come here and I just say, for example, I just remove everything and let's see my application, what difference it makes. You see the font is changed and a lot of things have changed. So, right now, effectively, my application is adopting style from two places. It's app.css or index. So for example, if I just go and let's take out Roboto font. I take out Roboto font and I want to apply that on the body. So if I say body and maybe it's here, or I'll just go to the Google Fonts. That's easy to bring that from there. Browse fonts. And let's say if I just go to Roboto, for example, from here, try to find Roboto. Oh, it's here already. So I click that one. And do you guys remember that? How to bring that into a program? I'll just go to one of them. For example, this slide 300, this looks good. So what I'll do is that, okay, you can get the font, but I don't want that one. Specimen is there. Glyphs are there. And now I'll just say, fine. Roboto. Again, this is the specimen. And so I'll go to this 300. I like this one. And why it is not giving the link to that one? Okay, so I'll say my application. So it will show like this. That's wonderful. Right. So now I would just bring this Roboto condensed. It's not giving that familiar things like to me. That's interesting. Anyhow, you can just, we can maybe get font. Yeah, so get embed code. I'll just get the embed code over here. And I would like to use this one. No, where is the embed code? Get embed code. Yeah, it's here. And I would like to just, import that one. And from the import, what I'll do is that I'll just take out this import statement, just like that. And I'll copy this in my CSS over here. I'll just bring that. And now what I'll do is that, yeah, I'll just do that. Don't worry. And, and then I would just use that font family is equal to Roboto contest. This is just how do we use that. So I'll just copy this one. And I'll just do that font family Roboto. And, if you do that and I'll show you. So I'll just hit save here. It is still compiling for me. That's wonderful. Thank you very much for mentioning that. See that now the Roboto font is applied to it. So again, in general terms, what I'm trying to say is that it is basically our CSS. And you remember the CSS that we use, margin 0, heading 0, and box sizing border box that we just usually set that one. So if it is set, of course, everything is gone away and we can just set up our things by ourselves. So this is up to you. Yes, I have that MacBook like yours, but I don't use that. That's interesting. Anyhow, so that is something that we have done. And now today, what we have done is that we have got a little bit of introduction to that one. So can you guys maybe play with this one now creating new components, creating a new component and calling that component. And by the way, we can call one component in the other as well. For example, you want to say that I want to bring this contact component over here. So no worries. I'll come in header and I'll say import header, or not header, sorry, import contact from. Now see here I don't need to go into that one because contact is on the same level, and I can call that one, and I can just after that I can say contact. So we can call this one component into the other component as well, just for the reason if you don't know. You see that now we have got contact me is coming up inside our header component. So that's also possible that you will have you can have this component. So this is coming in the very top, but I don't want it to be the top. I'll just want it to be that at the end. So this is a to-do app, some text, and contact me. So to-do app, context me, and this is all just coming up over. And in the context contact component as well, you can always apply some of the stylings whatever you want. It is just right now adopting the H1 style. And maybe I would not like to have an H1, rather I would like to have an H2 over here, just for the matter that I don't want apply any context. Or maybe that you can apply some of these stylings for that one. You can have any classes of styles that you define in index.css. Either, for example, you remember we have a demo class section, and I can say color. So maybe let's do that, some color of blue and background color here, because we are writing the code CSS. So we have that same snake case, not snake case, the kebab case type of thing. So that is dashes over here. So we can just use that one. So that's particularly it's our, so let's make it beige. I have defined a class demo, and I can come to the demo. Now see here. Now let me know if I'm doing the right thing. I say class equal to demo. Have I done the right thing? Up till now's discussion. Now it has applied the color and everything, but have I done the right thing? No. Why? Because, and how do I know that I have not done the right thing? If I go to inspector and I go to console, look at that. Look at that. If I go to console, it's an invalid DOM property. Yes, invalid DOM property class. Did you mean class name? Yes, I meant class name. Since writing in Java, so I'll have to write that in class name. And now this should go away. Look at that. Now there is no warning of that. Not talk, let's talk about default head, default props, but you see that now I have applied this to that one. Makes sense, everyone? I can apply this class name demo to this one as well. Right? So we have got both of them being covered up. And again, of course, this right now, this looks like very haphazard. What I can do is that, my app, my main div, if I just look at for example, if I go my header, so my main div is not adopting anything. So if I can say class name equal to, for example, I want to say just adopt the app class. So it will adapt the app class, and maybe it will try to centralize things or do whatever that might be doing. So it's not doing, because I've just done that on the left. So if I just go to app.css, it's on the center, and you can apply a lot of different stylings and things like that over here. So today I just wanted to tell you some interesting facts about it, and this is something that we have just seen, and that we have looked into that one. You can have applying styles, different styles. You can have different things. I can maybe come here in the app. I can just give it a width, for example, to the app class, and I can say this may be 500 pixel. So this app class should have a 500 pixel width, right? And maybe I can just give it a border around that as well, so that I know that where my border is ending. Black, I just give a black border, you see, and now there is no margining there. So I can say margin bottom, and I can say, for example, 20 pixel, just give a 20 pixel margin at the bottom. It gives that one, and that also I can just give some padding. So padding is 10 pixel inside, so that everything goes like that. And there are lots of things, and there are lots of other things that are basically coming up. So app is basically over there. So now let's come back and try to just complete that one. I've given both of them the classes of app, so that's why they are not working. So I'll go to my app.jsx, and maybe I'll just take away this class name is equal to app from here, just for nothing. I just want to keep one class, so that one of the thing is appearing over there. And now, yes, this is quite fun, isn't it? Do you guys think that this is a little bit fun over here? Border, radius, and 10 pixel. Let's do that. And now we have these components being repeated over here with that one. Right. So I'm stopping here today, and tomorrow when we'll start our session, we will just talk. From tomorrow we'll start an application, and we'll try to learn rest of the things in application. We'll practically start an application and run through that application and learn. I'm still seeking to find where index.html and index.js connected. I think the code is detecting the name of index.html in some places, change the name of the index.html. Yeah, exactly. So, Hiba, you are very right. Actually, what's happening is that it automatically tries to find, again, it really does not make sense at a very general level, that there is no, there's no statement that is connecting both of them. But it is actually, it might be, it's actually looking for this index.html. And you are right. If I just go here, and if I just go in the public, and I rename this one, and I call it 123 index123.html, and if I just say, if I hit save over here, you see that error, and it says that child compilation failed, it get not resolved, it's not finding that one. Now I'll tell you another very important thing. If I just take away this one and I say index.html back, it should be, compilation should come back to there. Now it is come back. Now here another important point, Hiba. If I come here and if I take away this, this value of root, I make it router or something, just change that one. So it said create root. So it means that it's automatically going to this document, the index.js, and trying to find this root value. And now it's finding not target container is not a DOM element. It does not find over there. You know what I mean? So it's basically, it's the, again, what I called it, it's the ecosystem of it. And if you just, find out that it works this way, that index.js goes to index.html, accesses this area, plugs in the components over here, the app component over here, and the app component then ultimately apparently can have more components inside that one. So you understand, Eva? So again, it's a relationship, it's an ecosystem that React works with. Right? Okay, so anyone else having a question? I'll just mark it July 3_2, the second commit for today. And it should be there. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy your day. And I would like to see you tomorrow, and we'll start a new application. Be excited for that. That will be a complete application that we'll run through. And you can, in the meantime, you can play with these components and everything. See you, Declan.